First things first, my name's Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We're going to be posting this directly to the website. We're going to be doing a demonstration to see exactly which application is going to be better for you, or paint-on application versus PARTAY AV. Now, as I showed you in his instructions under his products, it does take quite some time to paint his products. As a matter of fact, we need to go in and take a look at that real quick before we start this right here. We're going to be painting over this screen right here. Don't worry, I got plenty of this paint left over, so we can repaint this again. And besides, I do want to put this to a lighter screen because, as I said before, that screen is very heavy. I'm going to get rid of that and use that for an outdoor screen because that's a very heavy screen to move back and forth all day. Even just taking it out of that little area for that demonstration, it's a heavy screen. Those Shelby's, what do they call them? Those suckers get kind of heavy. That thing feels like a car door every time I move it. All right, so let's go over and just check out a little caption of his paint-on application. As I said before, that the paint-on application alone for this particular screen paint is a bit of a nightmare. Now, I said before, when you're making a screen paint product, you have to make something that's going to be easier for the customer to use. Can have a lot of questionable instructions because at the end of the day, you're making this extremely hard for your customer. And even in the demonstration when I watched it, at times he got confused over his own instructions in his own product. So that's right there alone will destroy your product. Having instructions is too crazy for your customers to even try to understand. All right, make sure we got everything latched up. So we're going to do a paint-on demonstration side by side. Get all this done now because I got orders that popped up on my account a few minutes ago, and we got to get to those. And I'm going to get back to my other testing, so let's knock this out. All right, so this is the product we're doing the demonstration next to, named by PARTAY AV, screen paint he makes. And it's supposed to be fast, it's supposed to be quick, and it's supposed to be easy. Now, I've been through this a few times. I've actually looked over the video a few times. Usually I don't play a person's voice, but I had to go over and play this because it's an instructional video to make sure we got everything correctly as he said it, all right? And yeah, it's a doozy. All right, so let's go over here. Let's go look at the application to apply the screen in. And you'll see the video right here. I can see he's updating his page. You can see how he's trying to, I guess, fix whatever, I don't know. But let's go in here and let's look at this instructions. Now, the basic instructions on his product are just basically mixing and stirring the paint. Requires to stir the formula very, very well, including side and bottom 5 to 10 minutes. Stirring time will serve you well, as he explains. Lightly stir again before each coat. Well, problem we have in that and the demonstration of he applied it on, which we'll be linking to our website. Actually, I'll make a pre-recording of that. The reason why we make the pre-recordings of the actual video is just in case if he goes in and he decides to delete the video, he can't delete it because that's what we did with Crow. We actually made a copy of the video so he couldn't go in and delete it. So, in here, what he's explaining, these are instructions just to stir it, just open it up and stir it. Now, keep in mind, in the demonstration, when he displayed this, he missed quite a few of his own instructions because even the instructions are too complicated for him to understand. As you can see, it says right here, light stir again before each coat. He actually did it only twice in the demonstration. We're going to go through this real quick because I got to paint my screen real fast downstairs. As in preparations, laying it flat to a surface, that's what he advises you to do. As for painting the surface, you have to visualize your screen in 3 sections: left, middle, right. For an example, as an example at the bottom, so we can look at that. So you have this, how you have to pour it out. Application 3, pour in approximately 3 inches a line of formula from the middle of the first section to the middle of the last section. That because it's very, very complicated for customers. Application, again, carefully move the formula around the screen to ensure the screen is fully covered with the formula. I said carefully. All right. So I guess What I'm curious about that is, what if you don't do it carefully? What's the outcome if you mess that up? It's not there, so you don't know what's going to happen if you do. What's going to be the outcome? Is there a video of it showing what would be the outcome if you do that? All right. Okay, so not to slosh off your screen. So you have to base it carefully so you don't slosh off your screen. All right. Note, fully covered does not mean that the coat will look even. To the contrary, to the contrary, it will not. All right. So we know that the first coat is not going to adapt to the surface. It is going to maybe it's just not going to coat correctly. So we'll see from there. So let's read this again. So we have this carefully with the formula around the screen to ensure that the screen is fully covered with the formula. I said carefully. So as not to slosh it off your screen. Note, fully covered does not mean that the coat will look even. To contrary, it will not. All right. Here's the starting for applications. Starting on either side of the screen, apply a small amount of pressure, rolling bottom to top to the screen in one full line. Moving to the next line beside, it's complicated here. Let's repeat this again. Oh, my goodness, to paint a screen, literally. Starting on either side of your screen, apply a small amount of pressure, rolling bottom to top of the screen in one full line, moving to the next line beside where you previously rolled ended, and repeat across the screen. You figure that one out. Okay, starting on either side of your screen, allow only the weight of the roller, no pressure, to repeat step 2. All right, repeat step 1, 2, 3 at least 4 times. If desire a 5th coat, simply repeat the step. So you're going to have to repeat this step right here 3 times, and then maybe possibly 5 if you feel you need 5. Okay. At the bottom it says, I'm going to make sure we get this crystal clear, all right? So here it says, start on either side of your screen, apply a small amount of pressure, rolling bottom to top of the screen in one full line, moving to the next line beside where you previously rolled ended. Repeat across the screen, all right? Starting on either side of your screen, allowing only the weight of the roller, no pressure, to repeat step 2. Repeat step 1 and 3 at least 4 times. 4 times. I mean, you have to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, not over and over 4 times each one. All right. Repeat step 1 at least 4 times. If desire a 5th coat, simply repeat the steps. All right. Here at the bottom, feel free to paint. Okay, let me see right here. Feel free to use a fan to assist in drying time, but allow each coat to sit for 2 to 3 minutes before applying the fan. Now, what if you don't allow it to apply 2 to 3 minutes for each one? Is there a cost behind that? Would that basically disrupt the screen's picture quality? Remember to allow each coat to completely dry to the touch before applying the next coat. So they're not merging together in any way because they're completely dry. Has a video explaining these steps along with an example of so it's his wife doing the demonstration there. And then it says the post application. You have heard, this is a slogan I'm putting in there. You have heard us say that Partay's coatings are not a paint. Paint generally cures rather quickly. Paint cures faster than 5 to 7 days. Literally, it does. Our coatings, which is his, our coatings will continue to cure over about a period of 5 to 7 days. 5 to 7 days. Your screen will begin to settle into its final appearance within the first 2 to 3 days. So you got 5 to 7 days and you have 2 to 3 days. So it takes 2 to 3 days for the screen to settle to its appearance and 5 to 7 days for the screen to actually dry. All right. Now, because of this, it is recommended that you do not white. Let's say you do not white. Should be that you not wipe. You do not wipe. Should do not wipe. Sorry about that. Or clean your screen surface until after the first week. So you have to wait a week. Now, that doesn't make any sense at all, period. Because if it takes 5 to 7 for the screen to cure, it takes 2 to 3 days for the screen to settle. That doesn't make any sense because your screen wouldn't be fully dry until 5 to 7 days. If you're saying a week, so you're saying a week of 7 days of a week, or you're saying from Monday to Friday. You should say 7 days a week, or seven. You should put it more specific. Then you can clean and wipe the screen off with a soft, dry cloth, much like you would clean your glasses or your projector lens. Keep in mind, we paint a screen and we stick it outside, and it's in rain, snow, sleet, whatever crap that hits that screen, it's there, and that screen still survives with no problem. All right, so this is a chart you're going to need to figure out how to paint your screen from A to B, which is mean you start here and it gets here. That's what you're going to have to do to paint it. This is the application video, which we're going to be posting on the site. So we're going to watch the application video.
Got a sheen to it. I coated it with a white gloss, coated it with a white actual mix. This surface, and then we'll talk about the acting for us. So I have a few things that I want to talk today. So tonight I have Miss Kelly with me. She's going to be painting a screen for us. So I have a few things that I want to talk about first, specifically about the surface, and then we'll talk about the actual mix. This surface, it's hard to tell because it's got a sheen to it. I coated it with a white gloss. That's just the only white I have in the house. So I use what I have. But it's got a lot of texture. I just put enough, if you can make it out there, there's little places in it, right? So I just put enough on here to give you an example because I'm going to use this as a little bit of a worst case scenario. So you'll also notice that there's texture on here because of the roller that I used, and this is really thick, gloppy paint. You're used to hearing the whenever people are rolling it, right? So the formula is not going to be like that. You will see how it works. But I just wanted to tell you that if we have a surface that has a good bit of texture on it, and you'll be able to pick up that texture whenever we do our display. And the reason for that is because this formula acts as a skin. It's very thin. You're going to do very thin layers. You're going to do 4 thin layers, and it's all going to be okay. I promise you. You're going to see your first roll is going to be the ugliest paint job you've ever done probably in your life. So don't worry about it. That's good. That's fine. You'll see as we go through this that this is not about being a master. This formula has been designed to make it very easy for you to do, where you pretty much have to try to screw it up, maybe just do some finger painting in there. I can't guarantee against that, but this should be fairly easy. All right, so first things you want to remember is when you open up the product, you want to stir it very well, okay? And what you want to do is you want to make sure you stir the bottom. Almost I do mine in a checkered pattern. I kind of go one direction from side to side and then, the other way, side to side. And I'll do that a few times, and then make sure that you get around your edges so that you don't have stuff that's just stuck to the edges. Now, this over time, probably by the time you would receive it, it's going to look like it does when we mix it. But over time, you will have some separation there that could occur, and that's going to be because we use a combination of distilled water with something we designed here. The polymers in it are heavier. It's going to fall to the bottom over time. So your water will kind of rise to the top and separate. That water is really only there as a delivery vehicle for the product because it's going to evaporate. What Kelly's going to do is I'm going to instruct her on how to get started. And the way that we're going to get started is think of this as your full screen.
What the heck is a delivery vehicle?
Thirds.
For the
so
product.
You would have 3 areas. There's actually 2 kind of
we got to figure out that
divots in this, and you can see one over here and then the one here. But we'll break it into thirds. What I usually do is run for this size panel. We're just going to run like a little 2-inch. If I'm doing a full screen, I'm probably going to run about a 3 to 4 inch, maybe 3 inch. Start with 3. You can always pour a little more if you want to do it that way. You can use a rolling pan. The thing is I wouldn't use more in a rolling pan than what you plan to do in one coating. And I'll explain that as we go, okay? So the easiest thing to do is Kelly right now, I've instructed her, she's going to run about a 2-inch wide strip from the center of the first one to the center of the third one. There you go. Just keep going across. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now, just, you can actually take your brush and brush that up the side if that happens, where you have a little roll on the container. There you go. Nice. Now you just want to go ahead and get to rolling. And what you want to do, the goal here is to cover the surface. You're not trying to get a pretty roll, like you're rolling a wall in your house or something. You just want to, first of all, what you want to do is try to get your roller saturated with the material. Rolling it back and forth, you want to saturate your roller with the material.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all, I have not done this. So.
But now you want to start rolling it, like rolling that out, because what you see is you've got little pieces. There you go. You're just trying to get coverage, a good, even coverage. It's not going to look even as far as color, but you want the whole surface to be wet. It's as easy as that. Just basically, but try not to roll it off. I usually roll side to side.
I got you. And instructed me. Clearly, I'm not a painter. Not even.
You're doing absolutely perfect. Once again, you're not trying to get a pretty roll at all. What you're trying to do is get the material on the surface.
Now, real quick, the reason why we're not saying anything about the woman who's painting the screen, like I said, this is a first-time painter, and of course, this is what people are going to go through, but the application should not be that hard to paint the screen at all, period. The screen should be very easy to apply and should only have to do it one time and one time only. So how she's painting the screen, pretty much, that's what every first-time person who's painting a screen, they're going to be all over the place. That's just what they're going to do. But like I said, this is good that he's using her. But again, at the end of the day, he should not be instructing her at all. She should be doing this by herself. He should be doing one by himself. And then that way, to show exactly how easy it's for anyone to use it, not with the instructions of the person who's showing you how to do it. There you go. Because to the customers, they're not going to have the actual person who developed the screen paint. They're telling them what to do here and there and there. They're going to call him on this, okay? So pretty much, like I said, that should be an easy coating. But as you can see, it's having some issues there pushing through. It's being smeared around. So that's something you should never go through on the first coat.
All right, see, now you can start applying just a little bit of pressure, going either side to side or up and down. Just apply a little bit more pressure. Be easy with it. You want to roll your roller. There you go.
Not just.
Yeah, not just slide it.
Gotcha.
All right. Now you see how that's starting to coat across the screen now?
I do.
All right. And that's really all you're wanting to do is just make sure you get a good even coat. All right. Now, go back to this side. And just lightly hold your roller. Just let the weight of the roller roll it, and you just roll up. Go take your roller and put it about halfway on the line you just made.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And just do that again. Let the weight of the roller do that over and over across your surface. Now, the reason we're doing this is because I want to show you it's very easy. It's just a technique, right? But also, this will help you optimize. That's it. You're done. This will help you optimize the surface. So the surface is going to have less texture. It's going to be very fine and give you a really nice image. So that's it. You just coat the surface, do your light roll.
Now, if you notice that, like I said, in the instructions, it requires you to stir the paint for each application. And both of those applications, or actually the first application, the paint was never stirred. So he missed that in his own tutorial video on how to paint the screen. You're supposed to add in, stir the paint for each, lightly stir again before each coat. He actually missed one in that demonstration right there.
All the way across. And then now we're going to let it set for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, just because this starts to try to level set itself. We're going to let it set for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're going to put it on the on our fan. Excuse me. We're going to put it on the fan, and we'll be back in just a few. Okay. All right. So we're back now. One thing that I did forget to mention in the first coat was when you finish, rinse out your roller. Now, what I do is usually that's the reason I use so little material. That way, there's not really a lot to rinse out of your roller. So you don't waste a lot of material, but you start with a fresh roller for this coat. So this time, we're going to do the exact same.
Okay, so as he said, he used very little material. When you're using a 150-inch screen, bigger screens, you're using a lot of material. You're using a lot of paint, and you're using bigger rollers. There's no way you're going to paint a screen of that caliber with a roller that small. So either way, if you use 1/4 or either 9-inch roller, you're still at the end of the day are going to clean paint out of a roller. That's not going to change anything. As you see, he didn't mention anything about the coat or stirring the paint, so he missed those two in his demonstration. Let's continue.
Same thing we did last time, and while Kelly's rolling it, I'll talk a little about the product itself and what it's designed and engineered to do for you. Be hard to hold that spoon again.
I forgot to stir it again. Second
Just
coat.
get used to it.
So as you can see in the second coat, they didn't stir again.
Isn't that?
So they missed it again.
And she's just going to repeat the same thing that happened last time. You just try to move this around, get your roller good and wet, just kind of going back and forth across. As if you just go across your panel there, you'll saturate the roller. And then you're just going to try to make sure that you move the material around to coat the full screen. So while Kelly's rolling here and getting that done, see, I'm just going to cut you loose on your own.
Good luck with that.
All right, folks, so while Kelly's doing her thing, I'm going to do a little narration here. So what you want to avoid is overworking this. That's the reason I'm being so thorough in the explanation. Because the tendency for people is to try to roll this as a paint, where you're trying to get color coverage that looks the same from one roll to the next roll. You don't need to worry about that with this. This is going to happen naturally as you do your layers. Okay, what you're trying to do is, 1, get coverage on the surface. 2, when I say coverage, just get the surface wet with the material. Go back. Step 2, you're going to add a little bit of pressure like she's doing now, just rolling one direction. It really shouldn't even be going back and forth. Just one direction is easy enough. Yeah, just add slight pressure, and what you'll see is that will start to colorize the surface. And then you're going to go back and do the same thing, but with no pressure, just letting the roller do its thing, which is going to give you a very refined, low texture surface. It's that simple. This material has been designed to make it easy for you, and so that whoever creates a screen, as long as you follow the instructions, it's going to come out the same regardless if Tom in Oklahoma does it or, Josie in the UK does it. It doesn't matter, right? It should come out the same, and that's the reason that we've designed it to do this. The material itself it's not fully self-leveling, at least not at that, thickness. It's not going to be fully self-leveling, but you do want to let it set for 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but you're going to want to let it set for 2 or 3 minutes so it can self-level. And then you throw the fan on it, let it dry, do its thing, and as soon as it's dry, now dry is dry, okay? It shouldn't be tacky, so you want to make sure that it's not tacky. As a matter of fact, when you feel the surface, especially if you've had it on a fan, it's probably going to be a cool surface, but you just feel, and as long as it feels nice and smooth, not tacky at all, you're ready to go for the next coat. So I just want to make sure folks understand, do not overwork the product. It doesn't need to be. Once again, not a paint, not meant to coat like a paint or behave like a paint.
Yeah, but yet it matched your
All right, guys, getting back. So I want to take a moment while Kelly's doing her thing to give you an idea of the surface.
Now, he sat there and said not a paint, does not react like a paint, but it matched the wall in your theater room, which is paint, perfectly. Okay, I'll show you a little bit of that too.
You can see, looking at this, you can see, okay, there's a line here, and there's a line here, and there's a line here, but we're not through yet, right? So don't worry about that. You can see the little specks in there where you can still see through to the substrate. So don't worry about that. What you'll notice is
the fact that you can see through the paint that was previously on the screen. It does not react like a paint. He's right on that, because any paint would have basically covered that with no problem. You wouldn't even have saw that. You could have got any of the mixtures we had downstairs. Oh, heck, Crow's product would have covered that with no problem.
is that we're starting to get
His product is black and white.
coat. Now, this here, this is a crease in the, you can see in the panel that we're doing, there's some inconsistencies in the panel. But once again, worst case scenario, we're using just an old cheap panel here that's got creases and little divots in it, things like that. But looking at the surface, this is going to start to shape up in our third roll, all right? So we'll get Kelly in here in just a second and get started back. All right, so you want to stir it up again. We cleaned our roller. Very little material came out of it this time, so you did a good job. I'm not using too much last time. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Now this time they stirred it this time, but they missed it too in the last application.
There you go. Leave what's left in there. Just gonna roll that up. Remember to move your material first. Start all the material that's in the center.
Yep.
You want to make sure you start moving it out. So you have a little, yeah, so if you have a little piece of your roller or anything like that that comes off, you see a speck of something, just take it off with your finger and go back over it. It'll cover really easy. All right, so now you want to do your light roll, because you were putting pressure over some of that. So you just want to make sure that you always do this last, very light, no pressure on the roller, just let the weight of the roller do it. All you're doing is just moving the roller. So there's coat 3. It may end up being our last coat. I know I said 4. We'll take a look at the end of this and see if we need a 4th coat. Sometimes I'll go ahead and do a 4th coat anyway. It's good to have 4 coats because this is an optical layering system. Okay, so you're building something here. Specifically, it's made for it to have essentially 4 coats. So we'll probably come back and do our little 4th coat on it. But for the most part, we're going to just let this set for a second, come back. We'll put it in front of the fan there, let it dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back, and so we're going for the 4th and final coat. There you go. All right, so that's our last coat. We're going to let that set for just a second, and then we're going to put that in front of the fan, and we should be good to test it out in the room. So we'll be back on display.
Oh shoot, sorry about that. I fell asleep. I lied you not. Hold on for a minute. I literally fell asleep.
To have 4 coats because this is an optical layering system. Okay, so you're building something here. Specifically, it's made for it to have essentially 4 coats. So we'll probably come back and do our little 4th coat on it, but for the most part, we're going to just let this set for a second, come back. We'll put it in front of the fan there, let it dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back, and so we're going for the 4th and final coat.
Yeah, I thought so. The screen paint we had downstairs is the exact same color. Same. Exact same color.
There you go. All right, so that's our last coat. We're going to let that set for just a second, and then we're going to put that in front of the fan. You pretty much have to try to screw it up. Maybe just do some finger painting it. Nice. Okay. Now, you can actually take your brush and burn about a 2-inch wide strip from the center of the... He's so confused about his own instructions. He says a 2-inch is a 3-inch right there. The customer goes back and look at this. He's going to say, well, he doesn't know what he's doing. How the heck am I going to know what I'm doing? Yeah, right there. So as he explains about how the system is supposed to be, it's not paint. It's actually this special formula. This is where the problem comes in, because the problem comes in here. Standing here, Partay.
Because right here, where he shows off the screen, right there, that wall is matching his screen. They're all matching. This is the same thing here, but it's matching his screen. You're explaining a product to be a special optimate product. It's supposed to have the ability, it's not paint. On the side of your wall in your theater room, that is actually as paint. So yes, your product is paint. Because it's not showing any difference at all. But let's see, it's not about here nor there. Let's paint our screen on. I didn't mean to fall asleep, but I'm tired. And man, yeah, I fell asleep in that one right there. I fell asleep in the Goose Screen demo I was watching. I fell asleep in that one. It was just, oh, man, my feet are actually tingling. I think my feet are asleep. All right, let's go paint our screen in. Hey, big boy, what's up? Wow. Let me paint in a 100-inch, actually 92-inch screen. Now, with the small screen he was painting in, keep in mind, you would have done a lot more work, a whole lot more work, and the rolls would have been much larger, which means you'd have been washing out much more paint. That video would have took longer, about 15 minutes to do that video he did. All right, let's clip our paint unit on. Simple and plain, we have the roller. Now, if you decide that you want it to do tape the corners, I'll change that how to do it. You don't have to take your screen out of the frame, just simple and plain. Your frog tape. We're just gonna do a frog tape up real quick on one corner, and that's it. All right. So pretty much, let me see if I can get you guys on a corner over here. We got a corner right there we can do. All right, so it's pretty simple. I'm just going to take one corner of it, that's all, just to show you how it's done. All right, that's the corner right there. So what we're going to do is take your frog tape, and I'll come over and show you later on in a few minutes. And you want to get under the frame. That's all you want to do. Let me bring you guys over. It's this way. It's easier to get out of the clamp for a minute, because you have to see around this. All right, now, what you want to do when you put your frog tape down, you want to take your hand and put under the frame, like this. So you can make sure that the frog tape is under your frame. So you're splashing paint around in there, it basically won't seep up under and hit your border. Get your corner area right here, do the same thing, going all the way across, like this. Tuck your hand underneath. Make sure that that's laying flat against there, because you don't want any form of areas that are not being hit. Because like I said, if you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to have a little tier in here that's going to show a white screen part here. You're going to make sure that's laying right flat up against that. All right. All right. Let me pop this open for a minute because I just need it for a minute as we do this. So we can get this. Okay, that's perfect. All right. Now you want to take this part right here and you want to put it right there in the middle like that, tucked under your screen. Now, see how that's done? Now we have it tucked here and tucked here. We have another piece over top of that. Now, when you're doing your frame, all you have to do is take your tape, and it's going to be much wider than this. We got the thin version, right? Much wider than that. You put tape here, and you put tape here and tape here to protect your border. All right, so let's put you back up on the stand. So you can see that you want to put it under the frame. That's all you want to do. So we'll just do a small piece here. So if you have the wider one, it's going to be much faster. Make sure you take your hand, make sure all your corners are sealed down. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Easy and fast. Done. All the way around, that's it. Now, your corners and stuff are going to be harder to get because your paint roller is not going to be able to hit those spots. You can get yourself a paintbrush, you can get yourself a sock, it doesn't make a difference. Just want to make sure you dab in those corners. You want to make sure all those corners are saturated with paint. Take your roller, easy as can be. Put it on a tilt, a slant like this, and smooth it out. That's all you got to do. If you have a bar in the middle of your frame, we don't have a bar on this one, pad your bar. If you don't pad your bar, what's going to happen is you're going to get an imprint of your bar sticking on the other side of your screen. So make sure you pad it. All right, let's start. We're going to be using the Phantom. This is what you do for its instructions. We're done. No pouring no line in the middle of the screen. This is it. Done. Take your paintbrush, dab it in. Get your corners. The areas you can't hit with your roller. And Ma, you're going to have this painted up, so don't worry about that. We got that taped up. That'll be taken care of. But we're just showing you how you do this, quick and fast. That's why you tape all that up. You can do this while the frame is still in there. While it's all good, while it's all assembled and put together and be done with it. Do not paint the whole screen with the paintbrush. Just get those corners you can't reach with the roller. That's it. Go back around again. That's it. This one right here. Done. It's going to wash up. Take your roller, gonna have it on a slant like so. Get the corner, smooth it out. might drop some more paint on it. Corners. Okay. We're done. Excuse me. Now, if you put too much paint in, got a little bit of oversaturation, you got a little paint leaking down a little bit, all you gotta do is take a roller and do this. That's it. Done. That's all you gotta do. Where's that fan at? Oh, on that side. This thing will stay up here. I should be pretty good. Don't worry about that. I like this screw right here. This is feeling. This is a heavy screen, as I said, very heavy screen. Turn your people away for a minute. I gotta reset my internet settings. I gotta do this every time I come down here. Can we get the blue heaters down here? Waiting for this thing to sign me in. Wait a minute. If not, we just grab a fire stick. The fire stick will load a lot faster. There we go. Took forever. Waiting for the last application, that's all to go through. There we go, we're in. I need a joystick. Ah, magic. Ah! Try that one. Oh yeah, come on. Now, the rest of the control on his own is done. Just set my fan. You said that one section right there, that'll dry on its own. We don't need a fan for that. We're done. Controller.
Yeah, I am the beginning and the end. Who will prevail?
Oh, we're in 720p, by the way. 1080p's are over there.
Do you understand the fate of fools who betray the truth? Who will come out on top? Ready? Fight! Attack! Air combo! Air rocket! No helpless! Air combo! Great! You cannot wish that. Oh, wonderful. Begin go. You shall live on as part of me.
Oh, that's the new coins.
Activision presents a smashing blast from the past. Fasten your seatbelts for a Beanox recreation.
Whoa! My carnival. My favorite Mac. There it is. Whoa! Ugh, loading time. The loading time. The loading time. I ain't gotta say much at all in the demonstration at all. I let you paint that screen that fast, that quick. I'm playing games off it right now. As the screen dries, screen's done drying. We're done. I want to take it outside today. When I get done with it, I'm going to take it outside and watch movies off of it. Done. driver all day. Good too. I gotta work for that game. Get my coins.
Overdrive. Select object. Dynamo.
Oh yeah! I love this truck. This wrecks something.
Boost and rush to earn points for your team.
Come on, off the ride, off the ride. It's nice. It's nice. Train yard. Yeah, take it. Oh! Get off the ride. Train yard. Oh! Come with. I'd have had it. I'd have had it. Yes!
Get ready!
I love this game so much.
No!
Oh, come on! Yes, move. Yeah. Yeah, right down the side, right down the side. Oh! That little inch in there. Oh, come on, really?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Mother Chicken George. I'm gonna get the flip on that one. All right, we got plenty of time there, but my controller's dying. Everything is all cool in the system. Boom, let's go to the store real quick. I don't think I can hear the body there. I gotta blow my screen up a little bit more too. Too small. Oh man, let's see what we got doing here. Get this baby popping. What do you have a sale too? A sale? A sale, you say? Yeah, they have a sale. Too small, bring it up. That's better. That's not more. All right, bang over. No, over. Over. There we go. And bring it down some. All right, I'm happy with that. Let me get this on real quick. All right, there we go. See what we got going on here. Plenty of good stuff. Everything's nice and clean. I'm gonna get the booster for down here tomorrow. I don't worry about the day. Get the booster down for the day. All right, for that, let me go throw my roller into the wash. Oh, already done. All right, cool. Let me see what we got going on here. Oh, no, what you doing? What you doing? I wanted that. Go back. What's this right here? What's this right here? Ooh. So I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna go wash my rollers out real quick. One roller.
Hey Mom, check out our tape.
Let me see what else they got on here. What else they have on here? Ooh, look at some nice stuff on here. We definitely got to do. We did the tigers. These butterflies over here. I like this. We're gonna copy that as channel. Make some more demonstrations off this. There isn't really much to say. Like I said, there's no way in the world should take that long to paint a screen. It should take you no time at all to paint the screen, be done with it, no guesswork, done, that's it. We're finished. Just do some gaming off it, watch some shows off it, throw some certifies on it, we're done, that's it. Complicated instructions, anybody can do it. What channel is this? Oh, okay, get back to this later. Oh, copy this down just in case. Crap, I gotta do today. I'm not gonna remember Jack for Jack. I'm not gonna remember it. I'm gonna do some more demonstrations on that. We still got that camera paint we're testing out, so this will be good for the stuff we're working on right now. So, it'll be good for demonstrations for that. Slow color change out. Completely butchered that one. Completely. Let's try this one again. Slow color change out. Here we go.
It's the season of gathering, and this year, one thing is certain: we're better together.
That shows you my technology right there against 4 certified screens. That shows the best of the best. The highest white screen we got is the Acoustic Pro 1080p3 with a 0.9. Next to that is another gunmetal screen, which is Dark Star 9. Next to that, well, butcher name, which is Parallax. I butchered that every single time. You know that people's going to happen. But anyway, that's a 0.8, 0.9. And then next to that, we have the Cinema Grade 5D, which I think has a 1.5 in gain. So these are the, we go from light to mid to, different shades. So that way you can see the screen can actually maintain its color levels, even when it's dealing with certified screens at different shades. Nothing here is designed to match the screen to make it comfortable. We're doing this with a 720p projector. We're probably around 14 feet back from the screen. Fully lit environment, of course, is the max zone as always. My screen's about 92 inches at 16:9. Easy, make cheesy. That's it. Paint the screen, bam, done. That's it. No complicated instructions, no 1 to 2 applications, none of that stuff. Paint, done. That's what customers want at the end of the day. All right, let's come in here. This is good, some white levels in here. Let's go with this selection. Two of the screens on here are heavy gunmetal screens. Our screen's black. There's nothing going to beat our screen because the screen literally is black. We produce the highest contrast level of any gunmetal screen on the market, including the Dark Star 9, which is actually extremely good. Maintain contrast level in a cooling environment. No problem. Let me see where we gotta go from here. Let's see. This will work. .4K white snow screensavers. Highest white level, any black screen on the market. I didn't see this when I was looking for stuff for beautiful snowfalls. I gotta check this out. I was looking for something Christmassy upstairs.
At Petco, you can enjoy the convenience of picking up.
Oh, this is nice. I like this. This is our technology up close. Against certified projection screens. The angle gain on our technology, which maintains at 190-degree viewing angle. Keep in mind, this technology can produce images outside with no problem whatsoever, and do it with beyond ambient light, which means if I throw a meter out here, it maxes out automatically. Unlike other people do meter max out zones, we can show contrast levels when they can't, and we can do certifies when they can't. Let's go over to, let me see. There you go. So at the end of the day, you can wait forever to paint your screen, wait forever to dry. At the end of the day, again, our technology is more superior. We can do certified, fully lit environments, meter max outs, and a child could literally paint the screen. There's no pouring and paint in the middle of the line of the screen, 2 inches or 3 inches wide, no complications on staring it, shake it, throw it on the screen, you're done, that's it. Don't have to remove the screen out of the frame, none of that nonsense. Paint it while it's in the frame. Put your paint tape around it, paint it in, you're done, that's it. Now, for those who do the meter max out zones, trying to do those, don't forget your contrast levels. Don't forget those. This is what makes our black technology so superior. People, the products we have up here are not screen paint products. These are certified screens. LG snowboarding. All right, people, that's basically about it for me. I had a ball doing the demonstration. Oh, wrong section. As I said before, no contest. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. I'm sure at the end of the day that it should not be complicated to paint a screen. You're painting a screen. You're not building an atom smasher at the end of the day. It should be very easy to do. And that's the difference between my product and his. As I said before, at the end of the day, just the instructions alone, we can make and break a screen paint product. No one wants to sit there and go through all that in order to be able to paint a screen. I can come on here, paint my screen, be done, dry it, do demonstrations, gaming, watch videos off it, do certifies on it, and be done. I do this all with a 720p projector. Here's my projector if you want to look it up. There it's right there, my model number. There you go. No calibrating, no dark environments, none of that nonsense. Easy, fast, and quick. Done. That's it. All right. Well, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the demonstration. This will be logged up on our Facebook accounts, and also too, we're going to have the video displayed on our web page under Paint Applications. All right. Thank you all. Got to go, and God bless.